Well. Looks like we got ourselves a day. There's like 40 earnings reports out. There's economic data that hit at 8:30. We also got Joe Biden announcing a 2.8 billion in grants. We got Elon claiming Tesla's valuation could exceed Apple and Saudi Aramco's combined 4.3 trillion. We got Allstate hurricane disaster. We got Prime Minister Louise Truss resigning during pre-market prep. It seems like it's going to be a big day. Can somebody lend me a bigger plate? Because I need to carry all this weight. Let's go. Let's get it. Live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. It's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, let's get into it. Here are the boys. We got Ryan Faloona. We got, of course, I don't know why, but Zunaid is getting the rug pull right now. His camera froze up on him. Yep. And they're pretty much like, yeah, we can't have this guy on YouTube anymore.
Maybe his internet dropped like mine did yesterday.
It could be. My internet was shaky a little bit too. I mean, it's just how it is sometimes. And you can't do nothing about internet. It's not like you can be like, no, fix it. Can't yell at anybody. There he is. Looks like they tried to rug pull you on the good old YouTube, man.
That was very weird. But what's up?
What's up is a lot of news out there. I mean, these are those days where I'm just like, there's too much news. Yeah. If that's such a thing, but it's just how it is right now. There's so much going on. Economic data that came in. It wasn't good. Of course, I will state that. Initial jobless claims came in less than expected, lighter than expected. That's not good news. We want to see a hotter number in the initial jobless claims because that would go ahead and show a weakening jobs market, weakening labor market. This is what the Fed, I think, needs to see to really even think about pausing. They're not going to be worrying too much about the stock market price. And I'll repeat that. They're not going to be worrying about the stock market price. Why? Because that's not their initiative. Their initiative here is to kill inflation at all costs. The only thing that can turn their minds is if the job market just deteriorates and you just start seeing spiking unemployment, because that's when, of course, everyone will call in to Biden being like, yo, Biden, you need to do something about this because people are losing their jobs now. And then, of course, Biden will call Uncle Pal into his office and they'll have a conversation and they'll start talking about pausing. But until that, I wouldn't even expect to see a change in the policy. You're going to continue to see hike rates and moving in that direction.
They've told us as much, Mitch. They've literally told us that they're going to wait for the unemployment numbers to be bad. And so when we get a good number, like you correctly mentioned, the market goes down. So we're in a case where good news is bad news because of these rate hikes. It's exactly what we saw here this morning.
It's tough. It's tough to deal with an environment like that. But as we know, Zunaid doesn't care about all these headline stuff. He's a trader and only tries to take the tape. So what are you looking at, my friend? And you might need to share your charts. But we'll definitely take a look at what's on your mind, Zunaid. I'm sure you caught, of course, my man Elon's talk, but looks like you're on the AMD. I'm surprised, not the Tesla talk.
Yeah, I definitely did not listen to the earnings call. I hear you love those, so I'll leave that to you.
Oh, yeah. They're fabulous.
Zunaid,
and if you want to hear another earnings call today, don't miss it. Of course, we have earnings galore on Benzinga. That's what I'll call it. We'll have Snapchat earnings tonight.
Oh, man, that's a big economic moving needle right there.
Yeah, big boy, right? Snappy snap.
Yeah, nice. I like it. Damn, we only got 260 in here today. Okay.
That sometimes is my fault. Just it'll come up. They'll be here. Guys, appreciate you. Hit the like.
Well, help out Mitch for the sake of his earnings call. To go ahead and smash the like so we can get more folks in here so that we can all lose money together as a family. But let's get back to some serious stuff here. Looking at AMD, I'm looking at 5650. You can see I've already got the orders in to buy some shares here on TradeStation. We're going to try to buy them here at 56.48. And then if I go ahead and take a stop loss, my stop loss will be here at about 88. Let's have a take profit of about 76 once again as well. So we can go ahead and modify this order and we are good to go. Look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and get filled at the 56.48. My stop loss is below there. So I'm risking approximately $140 per trade right over here. Matter of fact, I might have to see if I can get filled at a lower price here. We're going to go there. That's where we're going to go. There we go. Wait for that to modify. Should be done. And it is done. Cool. We're good there. And then, so that's what I've got on AMD. You can see that we were in a big old range right over there, still in that big old range of approximately around like 56.50 to 49s or 59s. Excuse me. I'm going to move this little ticker down here. And that's the range we've kind of been in for the past couple of days. And if that's where we continue to be, then I'm happy to play the range. If we go ahead and break out to the upside, beautiful. If we go ahead and break down, cool. Let's go ahead and check out Apple here. Again, same kind of story with Apple, right? In the pre-market at 145. If we go ahead and break out above 145, I'd be interested in this one. I'm not going to try to catch the bounce on this one, though, unless we get to like 138. But I will go ahead and keep an alert there at the 145s for me on that one. Let's go ahead and check out bad boy Nvda. Nvda has kind of been a hot stock for the past few days. You can see it went from 108 all the way to 124s, but now let's see where it continues, right? You've got the 124 that's a bit of a pain in the bum, and I might need to sneeze here, so give me a moment. I think I'm okay. But right above it, though, you've got another resistance area. So honestly, I'd wait for 125s to clear. Yeah, I'd wait for 125s to clear in order for us to go ahead and move to the upside. And you can see the 118 held that support yesterday. And if it goes ahead and cracks down, you can make a move to the downside on that one. Let's go ahead and check out Amazon. Amazon here, you can see the 113 is a support level. And the 120 continues to be resistance a few times now. We went ahead and scalped this quite a bit a few days ago, but yesterday we did not play it whatsoever. But now we can kind of go ahead and see that if we want, we can play the breakout above 116.61, or we can just simply play to the downside if it gets to 113.26. This one here, I'm going to go ahead and remove, delete. That's not the delete button. This is the delete button. There we go. And then on Google, the $100 level has been money time after time after time. I believe I think I lost once on Google yesterday, but the rest of the time we made plenty of money on this one. As you can see, I'm continuously just shorting it, buying it, shorting it, buying it, shorting it. Beautiful here. Sold at 99.91, and then I went ahead and covered at 99.40. So that was a nice little 60-cent move in my favor on Google. But today, what do? We kind of have the same strategy where it's like, hey, you can see this 101 level is holding as resistance now. So not just 100, but also the 101. And I'm going to delete some of these lines because they're just a little too much for me now. And then, of course, if 99 breaks, then I think we can easily go ahead and see 98. So for me, if the market wants to be sideways, AMD is the focus. But if it wants to go to the upside, I'd see a test of 100, and then maybe we pop below. Let's go ahead and check out Netflix. Was moving nice and pretty, but then it went ahead and got stopped at that 279 level that we identified. Why? Because of the after hours move, and that's exactly where it went. Keep in mind, we played Netflix, as you can see here. We went and bought at 270. We sold at 273.76, and the move went all the way to this 279s. What does Netflix do now? I don't know, but we're going to see if we can go ahead and play the breakout of 279, or if it ends up rejecting there, or if Netflix wants to come on down. I don't really have a good area for us to buy Netflix besides the 250. No idea if it'll ever get there or not. You can go ahead and try and buy it around 262, but then this 260 could end up being like support. Could end up being, you could try shorting underneath 262s, but this 260 could end up being support with the whole number. I just don't see the best risk reward in my opinion. So I'm only looking to either short here and then quickly get out if it cracks 280. So, giving about a couple of bucks is how I look to play that Netflix trade. LI, this one had a lot of options activity yesterday. You can see I tried playing this one to the long side. I bought at 17.19 and I just quickly sold at 17.19. I just didn't have the patience. The market wasn't doing much, so I went ahead and got out of this one. SOBR, I think Mitch lost money on this one, as did I in the afternoon session. I bought at 319 and I got stopped out at, I bought at 323 and I got stopped out at 312. So losing trade in that knife, just matter of fact, let me see how bad this knife was. Yeah, because I think I purchased a couple of times. Yeah, you can see that I sold at 312 and this 1 minute candle was at 381. So thankfully I saved a decent amount of money by getting out quite a bit early on that trade there. Now let's go ahead and check out Tesla. Did I talk about Tesla already? I don't know if I talked about Tesla. I don't think I did. You had the earnings, and now I'm just going to price out where the action has been in the pre-market. 212.44 the high, 207.36 is your low. And then if we come on back down here in the after hours, 206.02 is your low as well. So if Netflix wants to go to 212, I'm going to go short on Netflix, on Tesla. I'm going to go short Tesla here. And if it breaks out, I'll give it a couple of bucks. So that's what it'll kind of be. It's like, hey, cool. Let me see if I can actually do that here for fun. If it wants to. Yeah, we can sell that right there. Matter of fact, let me see if we can get a little better fill. All right, cool. Modified order. I wish it would just not ask me to modify every single thing in my life. It's like, bro, come on.
There's
okay.
not a setting for a one click.
I don't know if there is on TradingView. I know on TradeStation there definitely is. On TradingView integrated with that, I have no idea, but we'll see. But yeah, look, I'm gonna look to go short there. And we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does pop above, but if I am, cool. I'll risk about a few points there, and we'll see what happens on that one. The target will probably be VWAP, so right back to 210 is what I'm looking for here on that Netflix trade. Let's go ahead and check out SPY levels. SPY, this was a good one yesterday. We got a chance to play it from our levels, played it to the downside. You can see a bunch of shorting that we did. The top tick short made me feel like a god, where we went ahead and shorted it at 371.55, and the high tick of this one was 371.83. I slacked Ryan because yesterday I went short before I went to the gym, and I was literally one tick away from covering, and the market bounced a little bit, and I was irritated. But the market did fall back and fill me in. Range bound here to me, SPY, the last couple of days, or at least yesterday, and then where we are in the pre-market as well. So to me, it's the same story. You can see I've already marked the previous day high and the previous day low. If we break either direction, I'm looking to go long or I'm looking to go short. Doesn't really matter to me. We'll just see what the market wants to give us. And of course, you've got your previous close, I believe, right around here or so. So we'll see how it wants to behave, but that's what I've got on that one. And I don't think I have any more tickers to go after. So it is all you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Zunaid. I do have a couple of things here this morning. We're going to start off with some exclusive stories broken by our news desk here. First one's going to be on SBFM. This is Sunshine Biopharma. Take a look here. We have an exclusive. Sunshine Biopharma tells Benzinga the acquisition of Nora Pharma for $21 million in cash, common stock, and an earnout amount. Sunshine Biopharma, the addition of Nora Pharma allows Sunshine Biopharma to expand its operations into the area of generic prescription drugs and biosimilars. So there's your exclusive story here this morning. I definitely want to see how this trades. Got a little bit of a volume pop here. We popped yesterday, right? We traded up yesterday on SBFM, really kind of ran into this resistance level around 135. We're able to breach that twice here in the pre-market. So I think for a plan of attack here, we're definitely going to note yesterday's intraday high, because that's going to be in play today. Stock is actually right there as we speak. I'm also going to note all these other highs that were in the pre-market. Now, they're not far away, right? 138 and 143. If we clear out this entire sector, this entire area here, I think 150 is probably on deck. We might even go higher than that. So want to watch how this one trades. And currently have a VWAP of 130. Would love for this to settle at the VWAP and then cross through some of those key levels. That would be an ideal trade on SBFM. So we'll see if that materializes. Next one here in terms of exclusives is going to be AREB. This is a penny stock. We're currently at 39 cents. We closed yesterday at right around 28 cents. So we're up quite a bit. We're up 40% here this morning. We do the catalyst here. American Rebel shares are trading higher after the company announced it sees $5 million in pro forma Q3 gross revenue. So getting some pretty decent numbers there. What I'd like to see, same deal here, right? We want to see if any of these range breaks materialize and give us pops. Again, I'm going to wait this out because we haven't been in an environment where range breaks are giving us the trade that we want. We've actually had more success on adding close to support levels as the stocks start to curl. It's one of the things we saw yesterday in Sober. When you break some of those ranges, they often pull the stocks back. We'll see if the pennies trade any differently. But these two, SBFM and AREB, exclusive stories by our very hardworking news desk. Definitely keep an eye on that as that news gets digested today. Next one here off of the movers tool is going to be Hook. Now, we've traded Hook before several times, I believe. This was a relative volume scanner play. You can see it pops. It likes to drop. So again, keep in mind that any trade that we take here on this show, or any trade that I take, I don't want to speak for Zunaid, is going to be a short-term trade for the purpose of capturing a small movement. We do have a catalyst here, Hook IPA. I'm just going to call it Hook IPA instead, because I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Shares are trading higher if the company announced a strategic collaboration and license agreement with Roche to develop an avial immunotherapy for KRAS mutated cancers. So anytime that you get cancer in a PR, likely to be some type of movement. Really, the only question is going to be how long does that movement last? We could see we've traded all the way up here in the pre-market to $2. We've retraced 30 cents of that move. We're currently hanging out at 170. As far as levels, definitely want to denote the lows of the pre-market here, 167. Actually, we're going to mark this one too, just in case this one knifes as well. And then, of course, we want to clear out the top of this range, right? So I guess we could start looking at 179, but really a cross of 184 is what we're looking for. That hopefully will take us to 2. And let's look to the left a little bit here. So we're going to go to the daily chart and see if there's any other levels that we can identify. So the 4 lines that I just drew look pretty good given the recent stock performance. Maybe we'll add another one here right around $1.24. And let's go add 2 more upside targets right here and right here. So we'll see if Hook gets on fire today. We definitely want to see volume. We've had some pretty impressive volume here in the pre-market so far, but I'd really like to see that expand at the market open. A couple more things to just briefly mention here. CRBP, this is Corbus Pharmaceuticals. They're gapping up here. This retraced quite a bit. This stock actually reminds me of Comms in terms of its performance. Next on the list is, what do you know? It's Comms again. We had a huge move here on Comms a couple of days ago. Looks like we're kind of bleeding back down here. I would really wait to see this type of repeat before you trade this. Look how big the volume was early, kind of muted as it pulled back, and then it really started to expand, and that's when you got your trade. So we'll see if that happens today. Judging by what the pre-market looks like, I would say that's probably a smaller chance, but you never know. You never know what happens. Next here, our Mullen fans are going to be excited. Mullen here just trading above its intraday high yesterday. You know my thoughts on Mullen. I won't trade this, but it is worth mentioning. Got some fairly decent volume here this morning. Like to see what happens. Would like to see volume like this again for a potential trade to be on, but not a huge fan of Mullen. Last one here is going to be SIEN. This is up a little bit. There was a spike in volume here. We'll see where this materializes. Again, another penny stock. I'll look for something else. The other thing I really quickly wanted to cover is Ampx, right? This was on our list from yesterday. This was an absolute monster. It's on our list again today. One of the things that we want to see is if it can break this 1150, which was its intraday high yesterday, maybe 1151, but for all intents and purposes, it's going to be 1150. Want to see if this can break. The interesting thing about Ampx here is that this is actually one of the first companies to get some of that grant money from the new Inflation Reduction Act, which doesn't reduce inflation. This company actually got some of the money for the grant for some of their green initiatives. And the same is true for EOSE. So EOSE had a decent move yesterday. We're kind of holding that move. This name was mentioned on Reddit quite a bit from what I hear. But this company also got some of that grant money. So it'll be interesting to see if this is just 1 or 2 day pops, or is there a continued momentum after they get these contracts. Last thing just to mention here real quick, Finger seems to be back. We had a move. It was in play yesterday. It's kind of holding up here. We definitely want to give this some time too. Let's see if this settles. This has been a huge mover in the past, which is one of the reasons we're taking a look at it. You can see that if we do take out this 621 level, I guess we could also mark off yesterday's intraday high, as we've been doing that here, 609. So this area here between 609 and 621, that 22-cent range, we clear that out. This is pretty gappy all the way back up to 9. So at minimum, it's worth keeping on your radar. All right, Mitch, you got anything for us?
Let's go. Let's get into it. There's a lot to talk about, almost too much. I really can't even go through everything because I would take literally probably until 10 a.m. just talking news. But if you guys want to hear about all the news, of course, you guys can check out our headline type show, Stock Market Movers. That's where I definitely will cover all the headlines and, of course, get to expert opinions. Now, let's get into what is moving out there today. American Airlines came in with their earnings. That's one area that we can watch to see some continued strength. They have been bouncing. It seems like all the airlines coming in with decent earnings. This is surprising, but that surprise could mean to some continued strength. And so I'm going to look today to see if American Airlines can get back above the 14.25, making its way towards 15. This is a good outlook for the airlines today. Alaska Air also came out with some good earnings. We had UAL earlier. That pulled back. Now look for that to start coming back towards the 40s, making its move to 41. And of course, this is kind of more of that reopening style trade. Some people think that the airlines will run into some demand destruction, but it just seems to me like the consumer is willing to pay whatever price the airlines put out.
And Mitch, really quickly on that, because I'm with you on that. First of all, the bar has been set pretty low for the airlines, so keep that in mind when you're talking about these beats. Second of all, these airlines have been fairly beaten down over the past year, so it's no surprise to see them snap back a little bit. I'm there with the demand destruction. I think we are already starting to see curtailing in travel expenses, and I would imagine that would continue into 2023. Might just be kind of a lagging effect as people took all of their vacations over the summer. And that should slow down now.
I wonder, because I don't see it slowing down, at least from what I see out there. It just seems like the airports are filled. And if anything, you're seeing that somehow the consumer has money. I really don't know it sometimes because it seems like, everyone's worried about inflation. Everyone's worrying about spending more. But it seems like there's more money to go. So we'll see what happens today. A lot to look out there for. Another one that you guys can watch today. I'll just give one more area to watch. SMCI was one of the top leaders today, and that was off of preliminary results, raising net sales guidance, raising adjusted EPS, and also giving good guidance overall. Super Microcomputer. Don't know this stock at all, but it was up in the morning. All right, let's go. Let's get into it. We'll see what else is moving out there. JetBlue is one that I like also. I've been keeping my eyes on that one. We'll see if we get some movement. Today, I'm actually a little bit bearish, though. I'm not even going to lie. I'm looking for maybe potentially breaking down towards the 365. Don't feel like the economic data helped. Prime Minister resigning. I don't think that's a good thing. So, I mean, it just it seems like there's mad uncertainty and political uncertainty even more in England. And I don't think things are good in England. I think they're worse than what we're led to expect.
I'm going to try a quick short here on Google. I'm going to look to get filled some more if I can get it around the 101 area. So I'm going to put that order out there.
Tesla breaking down. XLM holding right now out the gates here. Looking
Apple
at oil. Apple through highs.
Apple at near the highs here. Same with Netflix. So a divergence there from Tesla, who of course reported last night.
It's crazy. ExxonMobil almost back through the highs there of June 8th. And what does this show me? Be careful, guys. Inflation.
SPFM
probably going away.
SPFM popping here. I got 146 as an intraday high. Mullen moving towards the highs for those that care. There we go on SPFM, moving a little bit more here. Not in it. Was practicing what I preached in terms of waiting for things to settle, so have not taken a trade yet on this.
Gonna be patient like I did yesterday. Just wait a little bit for the open to tell us what's moving versus trying to make too quickly of a move here. SPY coming back towards the red side. We'll see if we break through 367.50s. Then the next stop for us there is going towards 366. I need to see it get through 365 before I really start thinking that we're just going into like kind of a crash mode type of market. We'll see what happens right now. A lot of sideways action. You can see it here on the 15-minute on the SPY. I'll show you guys that right now. Look how that sideways action with the trend above it. If it could break out above 370 and really push above that, then yeah, you could get that push towards 375. But it looks like it's just been tried. It's tried. It just tried again in the pre-market closer towards 9. Couldn't hold above there. Got a couple of wicks. Now I think we come back and test support. We'll see if we crack there.
Still in the Google short. Haven't gotten filled on my ad, which is going to be at 187. We're about 20 cents away from the ad.
SBFM starting to get some more flow here. 142, 143 area. Hook starting to trade up a little bit here. 184 is that level, I think, to the upside that I'd be interested in Hook.
Okay,
Mullen seems to be
Jingle. We covered Hook this morning here. This is what I'm watching here on Hook, right? Nice little curl here. Really want to take out the sideways consolidation area. 184 is going to be at the high of that range. So this is kind of what we're waiting for here. Mullen calls, by the way. I think they're running this up before they knife it. Technology
leading right now. You get TSM in the green, Nvda up about 2%, Oracle about 2%. So that's not looking too bad. If you're looking for tech names that are up, IBM up 3%, but pulling back right now. We'll see if it catches. It did have earnings that released yesterday.
Tesla trying to bounce here.
Tesla. The Tesla.
Yeah, and it bounced from that 206 level,
Sure
aka the pre-market, the after hours low that we talked about.
I missed the AT&T move already. It kind of ripped. That was one of the ones that I was looking at for an up move, at least for the intraday, but it's already pushed there to 1650. I think it's a little bit too far now. Too far gone for me. AT&T already ripping there. I did see Binghagen, if I get that right. We'll see if AT&T can continue. It's up there towards 1653s, and this was off of earnings. Did Verizon catch a little boost off of that? It is. Sympathy play. Team sympathy. Doesn't look too bad there. I would need it to pull back a little bit. I'm a little late to the move. I would want to get back towards the VWAP 3673. It's already there towards 3715. Laggard style play off of T.
Come on, SPY. SPY's still kind of within the range. I don't really care to play it either way. I'm still short Google, though. Still short Google.
Short the Googs.
Yeah, waiting for if VWAP cracks, I might add to this one instead of waiting till 187. But for now, we're not going to rush into too much.
By the horn says Chop Suey. You got it. And you know what? My relative volume scanner is pretty slow here out of the open. It normally picks up. AGFY trading up here on some pretty decent volume. Agrify. Seeing love calls come in. They're cheapies, though. SBFM down to the low of this range here. Breaks beneath 131. I think we go lower here. This is exactly, let's bring this up here. It's not an analysis of a trade, but this is an analysis of not getting yourself in trouble early. We really,
a little bit.
Like I said at the open here, the pops through the high of day breaks have been getting ripped back. And so I want to see what type of behavior we get at the open here. And look what happened. SBFM ripped through that 143 level, traded up to 147 and immediately yanked, and now beneath the bottom of that range here into a 128. So this is, that doesn't mean that this is off yet. This could settle. This could kind of rebound. Maybe if we can kind of hold in here and then get across through the VWAP, that might be a little bit safer in terms of the risk reward. Just mind your stops on a name like this.
hesitated there on SQQQ. Could have got the VWAP there and been up 40 cents there. I was a little annoyed that I hesitated there. I did get 57.50s. I could have got that shot there and risked off of the 57.40 area. Not looking too bad there. I think the Qs start breaking down here. We'll see what happens. Qs
Tesla
starting to
back
break
at
down.
lows.
SPY down towards lows. I'm looking for that breakdown. I started seeing it break down. I wanted to get into the SQQs, wasn't able to get it. So we'll maybe look for success.
Where is
success?
Did go ahead and add a little bit more to my Google short. I am now short 150 shares at 134. I'm not going to take this one on E-Trade. Just having a little bit of fun here.
Yeah, I haven't taken a trade
somebody's
yet.
having fun.
Yeah, I haven't
you know,
taken a trade yet.
It's just, yeah.
SOXL does look interesting. Who mentioned that
fun.
earlier? Shout out to you. Who mentioned that earlier? Jay Wild. Jay Wild. Maybe we do get a bounce here. SOXL might be a way to play some of those chips.
What do we have here? What do we have here? Where's Tesla at?
CCL spiking, but I don't trust that at all.
I actually kind of trust that because of the airlines news that you're getting. Doesn't mean that it's for the carnival. I think that's just airline sympathy.
Gotcha.
AAL straight up out the gates shows me that also. UAL straight out the gates there. These airlines, good move today. Remember I talked about UAL, maybe 40 today? Look, it's already up to 40. Boom, already, right out the gates. So those airlines.
Maybe INDO through 750 if it can get there. Might take us to 8 INDO. Let's check back in on Hook. You're right.
Yeah, I like TEL and
there goes INDO.
Just gotta be careful with these though. It moves so fast. INDO is a hard trade, I'll say.
Yeah, I've taken some L's on INDO, so I'm not thrilled, but I'm going to call out what I see moving here. Jay Wild, INDO thinking moving. About a move, spot on. It looks like it's trying to start here. Bid brought in at 735. See if it gets hit.
Oil coming down here, so it might pick up a shot with grip if it can come to 1310s here. I feel like oil might have a pullback today. It's just way too high off of it, and overall, WTI is pulling back.
I could take profits near $100, but I'm going to be greedy and see if we can go ahead and get the previous close to hit on Google. So I'm going to be patient with this one.
Come on, pull back towards that 1310. There we go, getting it. Come on, drip. Drip to me. All right, there you go. Just got in drip there at 1311s. Wasn't able to get the 10, but took the 11 there. So starter there on drip. So I'm looking for oil names to come down here versus up on the day. We'll see if we can get through the high of that candle to the left-hand side for me. That's towards 1322. That's going to be the first level to break, and then I'll look for taking some profits through 1329.
Here's $100 coming in on Google, about 14 cents away. I do expect it to bounce there, which is A-okay. But a crack below that, I'm looking for 99.73s.
PDD, a good call here if you're going to trade those Chinas. PDD strong here this morning.
Getting a re-spike in that WTI, so not a good outlook to see it spiking there, but I'm going to stick to the trade. The trade setup's the way it already is, so let's see what happens here.
Tesla to the downside. Now, you know I'm going to try to play the $200 level, so I've got an order, and of course it rejects because I have existing orders to short. That's what it is. Well, let me cancel that then, please.
That 735 level on INDO where they brought a bid in, it's real. It was just getting hit there. There's actually shares trading across the tape, so they didn't lift that. Will be interesting to see if this holds because maybe this will curl back through that 750 and get you a move on INDO. Would like to see that hold, honestly.
Keeping a close risk out on drip. We'll see what happens. I see you, team. I know you're bullish. Overall, I'm still bullish oil, but I think it could pull back today.
Rekka saying book shorts. I'm assuming that the reason you're saying that is because you think we might bounce here, which
tech is pushing,
which could definitely happen. I'm not in anything short. I know, Zunaid, you're still short Google, right?
I'm still short Google. Yeah, we're about I don't know, 30 cents in the money. We're still waiting for the crack of I mean, it did go ahead and crack 100. I didn't take profits because I'm greedy. But we're still waiting for 99.73s to come through.
That 735 level on INDO snapped to the downside, trying to reclaim it here. It just refilled it with a little bit more stock. FNHC, former runner, popping to the highs here, 79 cents. Wow, big move here. The move through VWAP might have been it right there. We do here, let me put this up on the screen. So FNCH here, this move through the VWAP, seemingly igniting it. Let's see if we can get up to its, what, that was a pre-market high. Let's see if that was this morning or yesterday. Yeah, that's this morning. So pre-market high here of 90 cents. We're currently at 81 cents. Feels a little late to me. At least for buying here. Would like a move back towards the VWAP, but if you took it through the VWAP here, pretty decent. I'd trim and trail, and then you probably see 90 here.
I'm going to go short SPY here, just a small size. Went ahead and got short at 370, 367.96s. Looking to take profits at 367.14. Stop loss 368.78.
SPY playing games right now, guys. Be careful there.
Sure is, Mitch.
I feel like it is, and you can see it there, just doing some big wick, then a bunch of just price action. Hasn't really held above 368 and hasn't broken through the 367 on the downside. That's what I'd be looking for, continued down. Anything above 368.50s would get us a nice push towards the upside. Here's drip going towards 1321s. That's looking good for me. Just going to keep it going here till it gets to the first profit target and then take some off. Above the 20s, I'll start taking some off here. XOM, I want to see it come back down towards the 104. That's going to give me a good level. SPY coming down fast also. Had 22s for a second, was about to take it off. Then it dropped really quickly. Let's give it a chance here. If not, I'll just get out.
Google popping back up. That $100 level is just a tough one to close below in the 5-minute candle. That's got me concerned. We were up about $70 on the trade. Now we're up $0 on the trade.
APRN moving up here. Pre-market high 253. We're currently at 251. We did have a high from yesterday is Wednesday, Tuesday, 257.
Out there of drip.
Come on, man.
Slow morning for me. I'm not really seeing anything I like here, folks. Apologize for that. APRN testing this 253. Don't trust the pop through here today, though. Yeah. Mingo, Apple, I know you said you meant 144. Apple really strong here this morning. Same with Amazon. Those look
SPY pushing.
Similar. I'm about to get stopped out in about 10, 12 cents here on my SPY short.
Apple pushing.
Oh, Apple.
Microsoft trying to push also. Stocks out continuing, trying to get through the 8. Starting to see some up move there in the SPY. I got out of the drip there for a 4-cent loss there, so I'm not really going to stress it. I tried to give it a chance to break. I mean, we could have taken also maybe 10-cent reward, but I'm okay with the trade. I was giving it a chance for oil to break down. It hasn't even done much. It did a little spike, and then that's when I got out. SPY there, though, spiking.
Yeah.
Apron trying to go here. Took out 255. There's a little bit more stock at 256 for sale.
Went ahead and, sorry, got stopped out on half my position on Google. I'm still short a little bit. Stop loss 101.11.
Yep. Dan hit it right on the head here. Small caps, most of the gappers and continuation plays opened up at the top of their range. Not good for going long. That's exactly right, Dan. And that's exactly why the strategy here on some of these smaller cap names is to wait for them to come in and settle before actually trying to take it or trying to play the curl up instead of the break on the top of the channel. Good eye. And Easy Mike, props on the Anchorman reference there. 100% of the time, I'm right 50% of the time. What is it, 60% of the time? It works all the time. You guys look like you've never seen Anchorman.
I
No, we're
sorry,
just
I'm
focused.
concentrated on this
Yep.
Google because I've already taken a loss. I think I'm down about, what, a couple $100?
Zunaid, when I put up the notification tomorrow or the next time for live trading, do you want me to say, hey, come join Zunaid in losing money in the, like you say all the time?
Yeah, 100%. Look, the more the merrier, please. Look, here's why I'm different. People like to pump stocks to the upside. I pump them to the downside. Drill them to the downside, to be honest. You know what I mean? And you know what it is? It's because I haven't gotten a haircut. You know what I mean? I need to get a haircut later today. And then maybe that'll help me out. Maybe that'll
props on taking that one forward, Zunaid. That was money.
Oh, of course, man. Of course.
UAL coming down fast there. There's the spike and drip. Now I'm getting the spike there.
Happy that I'm not taking trades on E-Trade because that's where I like to get my normal size. I'm just having a bit of fun. I was up till like 3 a.m., so I'm just kind of messing around.
You were up till 3 a.m. God, that's crazy.
I know.
Dude, I don't even remember the last time I was up to 3 a.m.
Nothing good happens after midnight anyway.
For me, it's 2 a.m. Midnight till 1 o'clock, I'm okay. But after 2 a.m., let's hope I don't have a hot mic moment. I did add to my short, though, as you can see on my screen. I am short 200 shares now at 146 on Google.
A snap trade. Snap trap.
Warehouse party start at midnight. I've never been to one of those.
Snap trying to get into the green today? You guys stink. I'll tell you one thing. I don't believe in Snap, but that's why it's so hard for me to trade it.
Bitcoin trying to bounce here a little.
Starting to look good.
Warehouse party started, but I've never been to a warehouse party. Is that like a rave?
Yeah, bro.
I assume so.
Come on, bro.
See, Mitch knows about it.
Get the strobes going. No?
Got more than the strobes going, I suspect.
Yeah. In college, they had what was called an undie run. That was a lot of fun.
An undie run. Jay Wild, great call on SOXL, by the way. That's been a great mover here. And you could actually just played that right off the view app. Didn't really have the thought that we were going to bounce like this early, but this trade here, Jay, great shout on this one. You could have just used the view app or shortly under the view app as your stop. This thing's really pushing away here. You know, one of the strategies that I think has when we're in this chop fest, one of the strategies that's really worked well is as these ETFs become extended from their view app, you take the contrarian trade. Right. So as this pushes further and further away from its view app, it's reasonable to assume that this actually makes a regression back to that view app. So a short might be in play there, or maybe a play on SOXS if you want. And then once this comes back into VWAP, if it holds or if it dips beneath and really kind of extends away from the VWAP, you might have a long trade opportunity here. So I'd just kind of keep an eye on those. Those have actually really been working well. And there are some experienced traders in the happy hour that pretty much have been doing this every single day.
I did go and get short some more shares of Google. Now I'm short 350 at 168. My stop loss is 100% going to be the crack of 101s, and which is about to happen here. This could be
Twitter might be curling here. Twitter's some really good volume.
Right. I should be out. I'm out of my Google.
Yeah, it was Elon's comments.
I was 100% wrong.
It happens, man.
Wait, what did Elon say?
He was pretty much on his Twitter comment. I got you right here, literally.
Yeah, he says he and other investors are, quote, obviously overpaying for Twitter.
Okay.
He said that he is excited about the Twitter situation.
Man, I was dead wrong on that one. That's on
Said
me.
he sees investors overpaying for Twitter, but sees longer-term potential. Looks like that came from the Tesla conference call.
I don't think he said that. I don't know where you're getting that from, but
Getting that right from the newsfeed here.
I don't know if he said exactly that. I was watching the earnings call. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant.
Gotcha.
Yeah, don't you know? He hosted.
Yeah,
I was not on the
it.
call. I
I watched it, so that's why I'm saying I don't know that the way that was worded right there. It seems a little bit off. I don't think it was exact quote.
Come on, Ryan.
Hey man, I'm just reading it from the. If Mitch was on the call,
his exact quote was "sort of languished for a long time, but has incredible potential." That was his comment. The exact comment, quote for quote.
There you go. Apron 257 here. Apron trying to go higher here. This is going to be a little bit slower of a trade, I think.
So at least I don't think I'm crazy, at least. Brian said he listened on the call also. He didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that.
Yeah, I heard that comment. Bigger than two of the biggest companies in the world. We're going to say that we're going to get bigger than that. That was such a reach. This guy, Elon. Elon's a good CEO, the true optimist.
Tesla curling here.
Yeah.
I think that's how you have to be kind of like a CEO. Like, my company's the best, bro. What do you guys expect?
Tesla didn't come down to 200. It unfortunately bounced at 202. Sad life we live. Sad life we live.
SPY is looking like to me like it's either setting up for a rip or this is 945 trap. So I'm going to actually wait on the sidelines here, guys. I have a really, really small loss on drip. It's almost not even a loss, but I'm just going to wait here instead of trying to jump onto this trade. I don't trust this up move. But that's just myself. You guys like it? Power to you.
Why can't I?
How's XOM battling? Might break down eventually. All right, let's go towards the sector outlook and see what's moving in the markets today. Looks like technology still leading us. We'll see if that can hold. That's a big push in technology today. That's why you're seeing the Qs up a significant amount, and some of these bigger names like Nvidia, Oracle are some of the ones leading there. IBM up 4%, AMD up about 3%, INTC, Intel about almost 3%, 2.8%. So keep those definitely on your radar. Communication services behind that, that's a lot of AT&T, right? We talked about Verizon might be the laggard style play there, and look, Verizon lags and follows T. This is why I like relationship outlook and looking for the leader and laggard style play. You guys could have nailed Verizon today. T-Mobile also into the green, so it looks like communication services, the top leading stocks in the green there. Basic materials, what's leading there? Copper, so FCX. They had earnings today. Take a look at Freeport, getting a nice little move today. Straight up, now bouncing. Still hasn't even made its way back to VWAP, showing how strong it is on the day. Another one you can look at is SCCO, Southern Copper Corp. That's having a really good day. Aluminum, having a bounce back day. Alcoa came out with bad earnings, but still having a good reaction here towards the open. Steel getting some lift, gold getting some lift. Looks like silver bouncing, dollar down today. So we'll see if this can continue. And coal starting to get a little bit of a bounce. Let's see which is the leading kind of stock there. You got NRP, but that's not one that I like to trade often. METC looking good for an 11 push. And remember when we talked about the $10 push for that one. HCC coming back. We'll see if BTU can get back. Now that it's at VWAP, we'll just start pushing back here. Thinking about BTU here. The coal trade has pulled back significant. Wonder what my man Jay thinks about BTU today. Kind of like it here.
I haven't seen Jay Rice this morning, just Jay Wild. Jay Wild's been on it. Fin on it.
Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3. Looking for a hold of 24 and then a breakout above. It's already pushing there through the 24, 22s. Need to see a pullback here towards 24, hold.
Let's see what we got here. Come on. Nvidia breaking out to the upside. Yeah, I've just played today kind of poorly. Played it quite poorly.
All right, so I think I'm going to try what I just talked about here by taking one of these ETFs as it moves away from the VWAP. So I'm going to take a small position here in SOXS right here. Let's get my, oh, wow, it just popped up. Okay, 6803. So what I'm looking for here, let me get my screen up so we can analyze this trade before it happens. So filled at 6803. What I'm looking for here is a regression back towards 70. We're starting to get a bit of a curl here. We'll see where that lasts. As far as a stop here, 67.52. If it breaks the low of day, I'm out. Let me go set that stop. Okay. And as soon as I said it, we started pulling back. That's funny.
Cover.
That's funny.
Looking at that one too, Ryan, as you're explaining it there. I like the 5-minute chart, and I want to see this 5-minute chart close and create a double bottom really close to each other. So that's what I'm watching there for a reversal there for success to the upside. But of course, remember, technology is your leading sector. You're playing the leading sector to the downside. With that being said, you always just got to keep the risk in mind, right? That's all that matters.
That's exactly right. And you know what, Mitch? I think I'm going to refine that. I like that. Switching over to the 5-minute, waiting for the candle to close to confirm that bottom. I like that. I think I'll start using that going forward here.
Yeah, I use sometimes even like a 3 or a 5 on these types of reversal styles. And so you can see it on the 3, you're getting that bottoming action. So I'd look for on the 5 to show me a double bottom and a triple bottom on the 3. So double bottom on the 5, triple bottom on the 3. And you'll see it clear on the 1, of course. What you'll see is a lot of bottoming action off of the same kind of levels.
By the way, Jay Rice in the house. So if you want to ask him
about
this,
that's my boy.
There he is. And real quickly on this trade. So notice the first thing that I did after we identified where we're going and I explained, I went ahead and I set my stop because this is a name that's going to be liquid enough there. I mean, I find it, I don't want to say it's impossible, but I find it highly unlikely that it's going to blow through that stop without getting me filled, especially considering I don't have a huge position here. So I set that. Right now, I'm just kind of waiting it, right? This is what Mitch talked about the past couple of days. Let the trade work for you. I don't have a position here that's really going to get me in trouble. I feel very confident that my stop is going to close me out if this goes against me, and I have a very clear plan to the upside. So now we just wait to see if this happens as it sells off towards the stop. 67.55 is the stop. Oh, markets are fun.
You holding to the candle to the left?
I'm sorry?
What's
stops marked on the chart there? I'm actually, yep.
I haven't really seen it. That's why. Sorry about that.
Yep, all good. It's basically low a day, Mitch. If it breaks low a day, that's my stop. I'm out.
I'm watching the SPY, really. The SPY is trying to battle. And so it's still above the VWAP. Want to see some real kind of tightening here. Not get through 370s. If it does get through 370s, you might get the continuation to the upside. But we'll see.
Did I get stop hunted? Because it immediately moved back beneath my stop, stopped me out, and then popped back above it. Now we're going below it. So, okay. So here we go. So we just talked about a potential. Trade here. I went ahead and took a stab at it. Didn't work. Now it's, of course, bouncing. So maybe my stop was just a tad too tight. But again, did this with an amount of shares that I'm all right. It's not really a big deal. Unfortunately, starting off over 1 today.
Yeah. One way that I approach those reversals some style is so I sometimes get in like kind of where you got in, but I'm actually looking for it to go red a little bit, and thinking in thirds of buying in, because a lot of times you're going to get this kind of wick action through that low.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what you're getting here. And so I'm waiting a little bit, but I understand why you went after it there. It did look like it was starting to come back. It even gave you a hammer candle, which is what a lot of people look for. And so I can't blame you for going after it.
And look at this, Mitch. Look at the price now. Your first stop is your best stop, right? So if you come up with a trading plan, you come up with a risk level, stick to it. Don't be adjusting it just because the price action is changing. I would feel even worse now if I was like, I'll wait and see if it bounces here, only for it to go another point lower. So your first stop is your best stop, always.
All right, so you're seeing
at all times.
Housing move right now off of that U.S. housing number. It just came in at 10 a.m. It looks like existing home sales are down 1.5% month over month.
Yep.
And ITB is actually moving up on that number. So you can take a look at maybe Lennar as another way that you can play this. It is getting a little bit of a spike today. Not stocks that I would be trading just because I don't like these, but I mean, to each his own. You can look at them. They are making the moves up. Another one would be maybe like an Open or a Zillow. You can look at that. That's interesting to get moves with this type of number. It is getting a little bit of a lift there. SPY looks like we're up there towards the 370. Looks like we're trying to hold in towards the upside here. You could start seeing Tesla reverse here now, as you keep seeing the market kind of hold up. And of course, we know how Tesla likes to run to the upside sometimes and make these hard down moves. You got what now, right? You got the down one, up one, down two, up two, down three. If it gets through 206.50, we could start squeezing through the 207. We'll see what happens here. Going to keep watch of it on Tesla. Looks like it is trying to battle back. Some people will short off of this VWAP look, but I'm sure they're going to be probably covering if it gets through 207.
Amen to that. That's exactly what I'm going to look to do, as I am short Tesla. Where am I short? I don't even know where I'm short. What is this? Come on, straight chasing. Tell me where I'm short.
Sam bringing in a firm, saying he's seeing a strong move up in a firm. Well, power to you, Sam, if you're able to nail that Affirm.
Well, I was wrong. Instead of shorting, I actually went long. So
that's
long.
Like a problem.
205.41. I'm gonna
is that on purpose?
No, it's not. But I mean, that's the only way I'm making money today is by making mistakes. So I'm not gonna count that, obviously, because I'm all over the place, bro.
I need to get a Rolodex with Zunaid's best quotes and just make them into t-shirts.
Well, look, here's a pop to the 207s. Let's see what we
also want to be watching the SPY also with that, right? You want to see the SPY continuing that push. XOM pushing, so oil to the upside doesn't look too bad. Gush pushing up strong there. XOM trying to get some lift. Oxy already taking off there. There was one lagging MRO, but it took off also with that move. So there you guys are seeing some oil really getting some lift there. VLO, another one you guys can watch. PSX, Phillips 66, starting to get some push there. Oil stocks looking good. Tesla through that 207 level now, 207.56. We're starting to see some big push there. Looks like Apple coming with some news here, saying that Apple Fitness Plus available to iPhone users in 21 countries starting October 24. Will they buy Peloton? Apple, go get Peloton. You got the money for it. Come on.
Yeah, and remember you had the Apple news of slowing down production, then Apple took a hit, and now it's bounced back to the highs.
Ooh, Peloton's actually trying to make a push. Should I play a push there on Peloton? Nah, I don't think I can do it. I would be scalping a couple pennies. Looking around to see what stocks are making moves. There was that company that came out with that kind of early announcement, the preliminary results. I'm gonna take a look at that one. SMCI. It's down right now. It could bounce back here. Has made a good pullback. Ooh, this is one of those that I talk about the hourly level. You know what? Let's take a shot here.
So is that 5 minute? That's 3 minute. Okay.
No. But the big thing on me was this is one of those like where it doesn't make sense if you're in a shorter time frame, but if you look at it on the hourly, if you could get back to the resistance in this middle chart, that's a move from 62 to 66.50. Yep. And so I'm thinking about this more as risk to reward, right? And so you got to think about it. Okay, so what would I be risking down here? Well, the low on the day is 61.52. So I could risk about 50 cents here to potentially make what? $4.50. That seems good risk to return. And so sometimes I really like these hourly pullbacks because it gives me that risk to return. Sometimes I'm just looking for probability. Let me take off my my warehouse rave that I've been having on for the last half an hour. Boom, 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 boom. Get the old classic fist pump going.
Oh, Mitch.
If only I had my rave gloves, you know?
I don't even know what that is, but
that sounds fun though. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, the rave gloves, or the better, the orb. The orb is the baddest of the bad.
I don't even know.
Baddest of the bad.
You haven't seen some orb action? You know what? A little bit later, I might just find some orb action.
I have not.
Real quick, I saw Jingle mentioning Hook again. So what I'm looking for here on Hook, I'd be looking for a move through 160 here. The other thing that we're watching here on Hook is this steadily declining volume. We're right around the open. I want to see these volumes elevated. I'm not surprised by this price action at all, pretty much just butting up against the VWAP and building beneath it because we don't have a whole lot of volume here. What I'd like to see is a volume increase or a volume expansion that we talk about all the time and a move through 160. Maybe that puts 184 in play. We'll see. But this is what I'm waiting for on Hook. Right now, I feel like we're in no man's land, no trade. And honestly, you know, I have not seen a whole lot here today. The only attempt I made was on SOXL that went lower and I was stopped out. So not sure.
Bullish day, and I'm not on the right side. So instead of like pushing right now, I'm just waiting. And I think that sometimes you got to understand that sometimes you're not going to be on the right side. Maybe you didn't see it in the morning. Maybe the reaction caught you around the 9:45 turn. And instead of me trying to jump on highs right now, I'm just going to be looking for some pullbacks and maybe some change in direction. But right now, definitely having a decent day for the SPY up there to 371. Where could we run into some resistance? I feel towards the 372. And then from there, you can get towards 375 today. We'll see what happens.
You've got some bullish flow coming into Tesla.
Yep.
But that's going to go on. Yep. And it's going to be the 212.50s expiring this week, approximately $150,000 worth.
Risk to return, reward to risk. Same thing in my boat. I mean, just got to make sure you know what's going on. Some call it loss to win ratio. I mean, there's so many different ones. We're here for you, bacon. Now go get that bacon for us. Bring that bacon.
Yeah, I'm glad that you folks enjoy it. You know, we definitely want to talk about process and talk about stocks, but we also want to have fun. We want to keep the mood high, right? We want to keep spirits high. SOXL or SOXS here may be bouncing now. We'll see. I'm not in it, not taking it yet.
Tesla, man. Tesla pushing from that 207 outlook.
Yeah, it's about to be high. Well, it's already high.
And I had that feeling when I started seeing the SPY just rip. I already knew Apple was up there. I felt like some people were going to go and try to buy up Tesla, especially try to squeeze some of those shorts because it's a bearish chart. And those are the ones they like to jump on, especially the bigger boys. And the volume shows us more and more above the 206.50 that there was some ads there to the upside on the 207. And you're seeing that continuation right now.
Yeah, look at the way SPY just on this candle is just moving to the upside. I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to top tick a short here if I can. I'm looking to go short at 371.78. I did go ahead and buy some puts here as well on E-Trade. 370 puts expiring February 17th. I got filled at 2034. Again, SPY puts 370 puts expiring February 17th. I got filled at 2034.
I'm taking the reversal trade from SOX S here. Finally got a double bottom to go off of. So I can clearly see around the 66.14, 66.15s. Just got a starter position. Want to add to this one. Like I tell you guys, sometimes I'm looking for that third approach. So I just got a starter in. Wanted to come back. If it goes into the red, I'm not worried about it. I'm trying to add towards that 66.14, and we're going to hold towards that risk right underneath it towards 66. You could hold towards 65.92s. I'm going to hold closer towards 66. Looking to add on the position entry. Original is 66.60.
And Daddy Backstrap here says, Ryan, this is a better spot since QQQ has resistance just above 274, 275. So I actually went ahead here and pulled that up on my chart. Here's the Qs. So what he's doing here is he's looking at the Qs and he's saying, okay, when the Qs runs into resistance, then that might be a time to take SOXS. SOXS still kind of extended away from its VWAP. So still makes sense with the kind of the trade plan that we were talking about earlier. Mitch went ahead and took that trade. So good stuff here, Mitch. Looks like you're in that here. We'll watch your trade here.
Yep, just going to wait on it and seeing the SPY show a little bit of a harmy on the 5. It needs to close there, of course. There's still 2 minutes, but going to watch that, see if it turns into a kind of harmy or a hangman at the top. That's going to show us a little bit of sign, potential reversal. And for SOXS, just got to be patient with it because I have a feeling it will give me that kind of red candle to add to it. And if we don't get ads, well, then we just have less risk. So we don't have to stress too much about it. Just let the trade either work for me or I will start working a little bit to add the position, try to get the good average, and always keep to the risk and return.
Oh, I did. There we go.
Hammer 19, we'll get to that one in a second. You know, sometimes we got to take a second for our trades, but we'll definitely get towards it. Looks like you want to take a look at COMS. I don't know that ticker, but I'll take a look in a little bit.
COMS was on the list here this morning. This is a penny. I can take it, Mitch.
Thank you.
Maybe we can do JPM next for Angelina.
All right.
When we're done with comms here. So, okay. So comms. So first of all, you asked me for my opinion. My opinion is that this is a penny stock that's pretty junky, just to get that out of the way here. Now, one of the things that we've seen recently on comms, we actually saw a huge move here, right? So this move, as we went through the pre-market highs and the first intraday high, we watched expanding volume take this to new highs. So if we're going to try to repeat that process here today, what we would be looking at is going to be this and this. Might even consider putting it at the top of yesterday's intraday high, which is only 1 penny above where the stock is. But the thing that you want to know for an actual entry here, at least for a short-term trade, is this volume expanding? We're getting that so far. This is a 15-minute chart. Let me flip over to the 1-minute chart. We're getting, some elevated volume levels, but we really want this to expand. We want to see another candle like this big one here. So I'm not a comms fan. I'm not trading this with it just being a little penny stock here. But if this is what you're looking for, this is how I would set that up.
I was thinking about just taking the profits right there, even on that first spike in success. That's how I can tell I'm a little bit worried about the position here. Starting to think about the position versus letting it work, like I always say, right? And so at this point, you got to just determine, okay, are we going to add to the position on this pullback? Well, as long as it stays between the 66.14 and goes underneath our average, we can still add. Just got to hold to the risk and be quick there. Tesla, nice little push there towards the 210. Seems like some bigger buyers stepped into Tesla today and bought the dip. Indeed.
And you remember Zunaid called out those contracts as soon as they hit. He said there was bullish flow. I can't remember what strikes they were in.
It was a 212.50 expiring this week, and now they've got some more. They're going to buy. They've been buying the 220 expiring this week. So, I mean, hello. Something that I've noticed on my trading today is that I've been in the money or majority of my trades, but unfortunately, my take profits have not been met. So it's kind of like my 2-to-1 ratios, my 3-to-1 ratios aren't being hit. So for example, I'm in a short here on SPY, trying to see if I can top tick this, especially because we had resistance at this level last time. So I'm trying to see if we can go ahead and do it one more time. And of course, I've got puts on E-Trade here as well. But yeah, I mean, you can see that my risk is 1 unit here. Let's just call it, right, for easy math, which is about $32. I'm looking to get 64. I was already in The 1-to-1 had already been met. But I'm looking to get 2-to-1 if I possibly can. I am down on the day about $500. And $500 to it's typically my limit to go ahead and stop trading. So we'll see what happens here. I would love for what I'm hoping for with my hopium that I've taken is for SPY to come back and test VWAP. And if it wants to march higher, that's cool. But I'm hoping that we can at least test 370. And then if we test VWAP, that would be even better. But so far, though, everything that I have thought would happen to the long side in terms of after my initial risk 101 has been met has not been playing out. So we shall see how the cookie crumbles.
Kano curling back towards yesterday's highs. And also, here, let me get this. QNGY. We popped here on volume on QNGY, high of 180. Not taking this, only on the day, only 477,000 shares traded. That's why it's not appearing on my scanner, but did see this kind of have a pretty big volume spike here. QNGY.
Tesla continuing to have buyers coming here. Now they're buying the 220 expiring next week, and the 220 is expiring November 18th. So clearly a lot of buying momentum, which probably obviously is not good for my SPY short here. But come on, just test VWAP. Test 270. Test your little breakout level at least.
So you got about 2 minutes left here. We want to see all these highs right around the same thing for the SPY. And so that's not closing above the SPY candle to the left. I don't know if you got the 5 or the 1.
I've got the 1 here, but I can put up the 5 if you want.
Yeah, I like the 5 around this time, especially you could even go to your 10-minute. But your high there, 371.77. That's the area to watch that we don't want to see a close above.
Well, you keep talking about it. It's going to keep doing it, apparently.
Yeah, I could see it, right? It was real quick there.
And there's your high.
It's like, shut up.
Well, there's your high.
SOXL coming back into your ad spot, Mitch?
Exactly. Literally trying to get some here. Just want to get it in the 66.30 handle, not the 66.40 handle. Right now, the offer is off the 40s. There we go. Let's get some. Didn't get
market highs.
There we go. Just got a little bit more. That's 64 right off the risk now. Now we want to see it not close below the 66. Needs to get a recovery candle. SPY breaking. That's not a good sign for us. Not going to do the third ad here in this situation because we're right off the risk.
All right. I went in and got stopped out here. I'm definitely going to stop for the day.
Candle's about to close.
Here, I'll let you finish your thing.
Actually like that close there. Just want to see it get back above 66.14. There's 18. Get above that 66.14 and close there. Not looking good. SPY holding there. Getting the risk right now. Hands on the trigger.
Pow, pow.
Market really strong here out of the gate. How are we doing volume-wise? 15 million shares, 16 million on SPY.
Looking a little better now. Just need to close this 5-minute candle back towards 66.14. They're starting to give up. Yeah, I got to get out. Took the hit. It was getting close to rebounding. It even gave us 66.18s for a second there, but took the hit there and a pretty decent sized hit. Not the worst, but a little bit over what we kind of expected there.
Did you end up adding?
No, once, not the third.
So
Not the
that was gonna be one of the decisions that I needed to make when it came down to my stop level when I first tried this. Do you add, or do you, at that support, or do you actually just take it off?
So what I usually do is I'll tell you right there. I did the ad at 66.30s, right? We're looking for it to go to 66.14, but the risk is 66, right? And so what I look for a lot of the time is some down action for the second fill, but I want to see that pop on the green side come back. When it comes back through my average, that's when I want to get the third ad, because that shows me momentum going in my favor. And then I want to get the last little ad to get the full position size in there and then establish a new risk out spot at a level that you're okay with the sizing that you now have. Because when you add to positions, you're going to get to a sizing where your risk spot probably can't be as far down as that first entry was. And so at this point, we never saw the green candle. I was waiting there for a second to see if we would get the green candle to come back on this candle right here. It ticked up. It went to 66.16. It almost swung back there. If it would have swung back, let's say through the 66.50s, 66.60s, I would have added the third ad looking for the pushback.
It's just nonstop buying right now in Amazon, Tesla, Nvda,
Apple.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is it's hard to trust, right? It's not like you can join the party now. And I feel like if you're joining the party now, at least in my eyes, you're doing it wrong, because it's just how much more do you have on the day? Maybe the SPY gets to 375 and you have some room, right? I mean, it is holding sideways here pretty well. We'll see if it can continue going. I took my hit there on success. That's how it goes sometimes.
I do expect a SPY to come on, just like to test VWAP, especially at that 370 level. Like, come on.
See, I'm thinking we got to have a reversal here. And so it's got me even more tempted in some of these short instruments.
Yeah, you just have to try to keep the risk small. Sometimes you pay to find out your timing. And I think that this was one of those keys where Ryan and I paid to find out. And the key is understanding, like, what are you paying to find out, right? And when you're wrong, you admit to it and get the hell out.
Yeah, I mean, the reality in our business is that you're not going to be able to make money without risking money. And in that particular setup, I felt okay putting that amount of money at risk.
Yep.
I took a small loss, moved on from it. Day's not over. We'll wait for this to set up again. So
XOM continuing to the upside. Oil has been the best play for the last, 2 weeks? 25 days, man. I'm telling you. Oh, oil! You did me dirty. You did me dirty, Oxy. Remember when you stopped me out at the 65 level and went down to 58? Now you're at 70. Come on, Oxy. Killing me. All right, looking around, see what's going on in the market.
QQQ to the highs again. QQQ over 510,000 shares now. Didn't appear on my relative volume scanner because of my volume filter, which is okay. I actually got this from somebody else. But yeah, moving up here. Let's take a look at the Twitter streets and see what we can find.
So here's what I like on the SPY. The fact that it's kind of basing here, or at least if it continues to base here above the 372 area, I like that, so that we can continue maybe checking out the 374s and maybe in the 375s. But it's got to stay above this 372s.
Tesla turning around, that will help to the downside if it can come back and break VWAP to the downside. That's what you'd want to see if you're a bear. Apple's the other one that you want to see come back to VWAP. It is starting to top out there. And we get the Harmy candle on the SPY there.
What? On what time frame are you looking at?
On the 5. Small body. Wicks to the up and the downside. Dun, dun, dun.
Sean D saying if the Qs go to 276, I'll go short. So giving you a level there to watch for the Qs. We're currently at 274.40. 276 looks like the resistance you're looking for to actually short that. 276 actually lines up with yesterday's pre-market high. The day before the high was 277. So some pretty good resistance there. I like that, Sean.
Getting your turnaround signal. Now the question is, will it actually turn around? We've got it just about 15 minutes ago, and we went right through that level. Let's see what happens now.
Yeah.
QNGY, big pull here now.
Kramer says he dislikes Carnival. Oh, hold on. I got to find Carnival.
I'm sorry.
Oh, one day we'll have the inverse Kramer ETF, and trust me, I will have some mad fun with that one, guys. We're gonna have some good fun with that one.
When does that come out? I know it's already been announced or something.
I
don't know when it comes out to trade.
I think it has a month more. I think
okay.
It takes a little while. They have to, establish it.
Yeah. The legalese.
Yeah. It takes a little while. But we'll get Tuttle on. I'll definitely get him on to talk about it. I hear you, Jay. I hear you. I trust me. I think I could trade smaller too. Also, really, my trading is better done in swing trading. I'll just be as honest as that. And that's when I'm usually taking my really small size and trying to swing trade some of these names. But this year has just not been it for me. And then when I have taken some swing trades, some have gone well, some have gone, back into the red. I did take like a natural gas one that didn't work out. That Oxy one, it went well for a while, then broke down. So it's just a tough market right now. And I think that this market is one of those that you just got to put some capital to the side and wait for the bull market to come back. And that's a little bit of what I'm doing here, is that I'm trying to keep playing.
Me too.
I ain't playing with the big money right now.
Me
and
too.
I'm going to hold that until I for sure know that the bull market is back.
Yep. And the reality is we might have a great, maybe I shouldn't even say great considering the year, but we might have a good end of the year here, right? November, December might end up being good. There might be some stocks that end up being good, but it's also possible that can happen. And then we can revisit lows next year. So keep that in mind too. I definitely don't think we're at the bottom of this.
Yeah, and to put it in consideration, what I'm playing with right now to when I want to press the gas pedal, probably be about 4 times the amount. So to give you guys the insight of how I've sized down, especially day trading size, that would be more even closer to 5 times that size. And so we just got to wait. And I think that, you keep playing, you can keep playing and learning through this environment, try to make small base hits, take what you can, understand that even if you get 10, 20% this year, you're going to beat the overall market. So don't stress about that. And that's how you're really judged, is beating the market. So at first, you learn to try to just be into the green small. Then you work your way towards trying to make a lot of money. In this market, I'm just trying not to lose money right now.
Protect your capital should be your number one goal every day, no matter what.
Yeah. Looking at Lamb Research coming out with a lot of ratings to the upside. That's actually a good look. But even though they did state in their earnings call that they would take a big hit due to the licensing issues that are going on in China, it seems to me like we're in the biggest battle with China that we've ever been. And I'm actually going to be speaking about this with my guest on Stock Market Movers at 1:15 later today. So don't miss that, team. I'm going to talk about infrastructure bill. I'm going to be actually talking with someone that is on the infrastructure Biden board. And so you don't want to miss that. I got some great insight. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. But what do you guys feel? I feel like we're getting into a really bad kind of fight here with China, whether it be about, you just saw yesterday Biden with the grant for lithium and battery materials. We're in a battle with them for semiconductor chip technology. We're in a battle with them for EV kind of push forward, right? We're trying to push Ford, GM, Ford. Tesla's already there, but we're trying to get them forward and we're giving more EV credits. It just seems like we're fighting them on every end.
You've got this. You've got the SPY rejecting and going below now. It's currently below the 372 level that we talked about. Currently trading at 371.27s. This could be where the SPY finally comes back to the 370s.
Yeah, I think I would see that 370, even slightly below that. The hard part will be if Tesla really crashes, right? That could drag us right back down. So look for Tesla to either catch that VWAP here or get taken out. So VWAP is around, at least for me, I got 206.65.
Oh man. Crossed 102s. It did. It went way above 102. So
Outlet, man, Outlet. That was one of the companies I was going to take a big shot on. It's at $1. I don't know about it.
Jan saying classic 1030 turnaround. You know it. You know it. Does feel like the market's stuck in neutral. SOXS, nice little bounce here. 65.25 off the low, bounced $1.50 off the lows. Knew that was going to be a play at some point.
Yeah, we still got tariffs on China on the trades. We haven't taken those off and don't think we're going to be taking them off. I don't know in the long run if it's so good for us to be battling China so much. I don't think it's good. I'm a believer that I still think globalization's a good move, that economies should help each other out, try to produce where they have strengths. But it seems like we're getting a huge change in that thinking, and we're going to a whole nother ball game.
What you're seeing is the back and forth of that, right? There was clearly problems by being too segmented. Drugs being made overseas, energy, things of that nature. So I get it, and I agree with you largely on that point that globalization is a good thing, but to certain limits. And I think we went too far in one direction, and now the pendulum is swinging back. Will it overswing? Will it overswing? Yeah, probably would.
That's what I'm
generally what happens. But I think eventually you're going to settle at a really good spot.
Who's at cost of that, though? That's what I'm wondering here. And it seems to me like the markets are going to be at cost of that.
Yeah, I think it's too early to tell that for sure.
The big thing is let's just be honest. We can't produce the shit that China can produce at the price that China can produce it at. We can't do that here. We're not going to enslave people or figure out, ways around minimum wage so that you can create these types of advantages. That's what China does. Let's just be honest. And it seems to me like this is a bigger thing than most are catching. I feel like it's going to be massive. It's going to affect all of technology. I mean, for a long time, China has been the leader in technology. Even though we don't want to admit it, they have. And so they're trying to take it back. What will that cause to the prices of these tech stocks?
SPY went ahead and closed that 5-minute candle quite strongly below that 372. Again, still waiting for that VWAP test.
Yeah, I could outlive the lettuce. You know it, Johan. I'd outlive the lettuce.
I gotta go to Costco.
Gonna get some lettuce?
Yeah, we don't eat lettuce. It's
That's rabbit food, man.
We're gonna go get some chicken nuggets. Now, what would be interesting is if SPY wants to go ahead and test that breakout level one more time and reject, then to me that's a solid idea. Like the fact that I'm down $500 makes me hesitant to trade some more. So the only thing that I have are just like a couple of puts when this candle went ahead and crossed below this previous 5. But I only got a couple of contracts, and I'm definitely hesitant to lose more money, unfortunately. And I'll talk about mistakes the closer we get to 11, because I definitely know where I went wrong.
Yeah, by the horns, if I see some black unmarked SUVs in front of my house, I'll know why. All right, what else is going on? Looks like just the slowdown effect is what's hit here. SPY not really moving.
Someone in the chat mentioned that you can't trust a low volume push to the upside on SPY. I'm curious how you're judging it that it's low volume. Is it because of the previous candles? Is it because of year to date volume or a year over year volume around this time? Like, how are you judging?
Yeah, are you using a time frame? Are you using a moving average on volume? What are you using relative to tell?
Yeah.
What's the question?
Someone mentioned that SPY, you cannot trust a SPY move to the upside on low volume. My question was, what are you comparing it to dictate that it was low volume?
It's average.
Right, but average. So like average in terms of yesterday's or like.
So I'll show you. So first of all,
Please.
for the graphical representation, I'm assuming I think I'm speaking. This was somebody else that asked this, so I don't mean to be speaking for them. Please correct me if I'm wrong here. But one of the things that you look at here is daily chart of the SPY. Look at the size of the volume candle versus some of the previous candles. Now I know we're early into the day, and that's going to fill up over the course of the day. But remember, we often see large volume pools right at the beginning and the end of the day, and today doesn't look any bigger than yesterday, which was fairly low volume. And then as far as actual numbers, it would just be the session volume versus the 100-day average. So this might be difficult to see. Let me see if I can zoom in for you folks here. In the details tool on the overview tab, you're always going to get the volume readout as well as the average volume readout. We're at just under 19 million here on average. Over the past 100 days, we trade over 80 million. So he's extrapolating, he's estimating. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if we get to that 80 million number. Let's check in on that at the end of the day, see where we're at.
Yeah, especially because I mean, like you mentioned, it's only been an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's the open.
And it's already been it's already reached, what is that? More than 20% of its daily volume.
Right, but the volume that trades midday is much lower than around the open and the close. So.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Well, team, I want to bring up a stock that we normally don't bring up. We normally don't go and cover the OTC market, but it's an interesting call today that I saw in the headline that I caught. It looks like cannabis to be sold at Circle K gas stations in Florida. Man, I missed it. What happened? Well, it looks like Green Thumb is teaming up with Circle K to get cannabis inside gas stations. So you won't be going to the dispensary. You can get it while you're pumping your gas. We'll see what happens. Crazy. And I think Jay and Silent Bob cleared the way for that move with all the good movies they used to do right in front of those good old 7-Elevens.
I was going to say the Jay and Silent Bob gift right there. That's what's got it for me. They can't go wrong there. I watched Mallrats. That was such a classic.
Look at the stock though; it did get some lift today. Green Thumb Industries. Definitely, we're the leader in cannabis coverage. So if you want to catch any cannabis talk, you could always catch it on Benzinga. But not a bad move there. A Green Thumb. Check it.
Yeah, should be fun when you and especially in Florida, the people already do some nut stuff there. You got Tesla
stories
looking to go high a day while the SPY is looking to come on down. SPY, come on down to VWAP, just so I can feel like I was right about something in my life. Good grief. Come on.
Oh, I thought it was pretty funny there. Gas station. We have gas station dispensaries in Colorado. They're already there.
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand.
It says on the top, gas and grass.
Wow.
Does it really say?
Yeah, I thought it was legit.
That's
Whoever thought of that one.
Snoochie boochies.
Fun face, black cat.
Oh. Oh, we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna have some fun today. Market pulling back here now.
I think in the long run, when cannabis truly becomes legal, will be finally the time that we actually start seeing, alcohol take a step back. And I think that's a great move for society overall.
Are we zooted? I don't know what that means.
Your thesis is that when cannabis becomes federally legal, you think you will see a pullback in alcohol consumption? Is that the thesis?
Yes, overall consumption. Just because I think at the end of the day, certain people have never tried cannabis, and a lot of that is because of legalization issues, not because they don't want to try it. It's just more along, okay, they don't want to do something illegal. I understand that also.
Oh, zooted means high. No, yeah. I'm not high.
Yeah, I've actually never
just losing money sober.
Yeah, I try not to answer those comments because I know too much about that.
I think it's fine to answer. Well, apparently the world knows that it means high, but I mean, I figured that's what it was, but I'm not trying to assume anything. But no, yeah, like I said, I just lose money sober.
Oh, they got some new ones, but you got to stay with the young guns, and you'll learn the terminology. Zunaid, that just shows you, man, you're not getting any younger, my friend.
Mitch, thankfully, my hair tells me that every morning.
Dan, when Mitch said that, when I was clarifying, I thought the same thing. You'll probably just have drinkers that'll start getting stoned.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think there's going to be one of the things is like, let's say, into each his own, right? To each his own. But certain people like to wake up the next day and not have it affect themselves, but still would like to have a fun night, right? Well, I think that cannabis solves that issue. You still could have a fun night, have some effects, have some fun, but wake up the next day and still do some work, right? I mean, you have too many, keg stands, and trust me, I went to college, I went to UCF, memory lane. There wasn't many times that I had much memory leaving memory lane, but that, I think, in the long run will be something that we can build off of. So what about this market? Who hit the pause button?
You can see it's kind of bouncing from that level earlier, but excuse me, no, it hasn't. I haven't gotten to 270. I got my alert there. I thought it hit. It has not hit. My apologies.
That's what I'm saying. Who hit the pause button?
I do not know. Thankfully, my puts are out to February, so I've been doing okay. Oh boy.
Where you going at? Harvard local house, second floor, right on the couch.
Is that from a movie?
These nuts.
I figure if I study high, take the test high, get high scores. That's funny.
That's How High. One of the best movies there.
Bro, come on. Just test VWAP. Good gracious.
Yeah, I always thought it was funny that they called that area where people do their pre-gaming for the football, and you like kind of walk to the stadium. They call it memory lane. I'm like, come on, man. You gonna call that place memory lane?
Finally, we see some bearish flow coming in, but it's very, very little on Apple. I don't trust it one bit. I need some big heavy hitters to come on down. And this 10-minute wick doesn't make me feel good to the upside either, or to the downside. So let's see.
The big thing on that is if we, take it to stocks, will it be the kind of big cannabis companies that are out today, like let's say Canopy Growth, Tilray, will those be the ones that take advantage when we go legal markets? And I would actually say that those are at a disadvantage. And so what I would be looking for is when we finally get that wave, look for the companies that kept their debt really low and were growing, but at some point didn't push too fast into heavy debt. Those are the ones that I think are going to come out and have great success when we finally get legalization of cannabis. Great success.
I was just thinking that.
I can't even say those two words together and just like not think about it. So I tried my best not.
Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on.
All right, let's take a outlook out in the markets. What sectors are still leading? Looks like technology still in the lead and not having a bad day at all. Technology having a great day. And some of even the cheaper names in tech having some good lift today. I'll give you guys a little bit of some of those names. I know you guys like those cheaper names. For my degenerates out there, don't worry, I'm one of them sometimes. RBT is one of those software names having a decent day today. QNGY, of course, some of these might be low float. I just want to go ahead and state that. But look how this popped.
153 is a spot there on QNGY.
Haha, you see, my man is already keeping up with this one. Hollow, microcloud, hologram. Don't know this one. It looks like it's trying to get through 3. KC, Kingstoff Cloud Holdings. One thing I can see here, there's a common trend, right? Software applications name getting some lift today. Eman, I don't know this one. TLS, let's see here. NVEC. I'm just going through some of the bigger ones. Even Skills getting a move. Ryan, Even Skills.
Don't know what to say about that.
SMCI. Remember I talked about this one? Remember I talked about the hourly candle and an approach on this one? Look at that 62. Look how it's holding there on that hourly. That's why I like the hourly charts. The risk to return here. If it gets up there to 66.50 and you risked about 50 cents for about $4.25 to the upside, I mean, can you really go wrong there in the risk to return? You could be probably about 30% accurate. And if you're going for that risk to reward, you'd be deep into the profits. Boyle.
Curious. What's up? Go ahead.
Someone wants to know about the Boyle and the kind of the natural gas game. Honestly, I think you could call it the bottom, but you won't know that until it's already the bottom, right? One thing that you want to see is a close back above 38. If you could create a double bottom outlook there with two bodies close off the 38s, take a look at it. But right now you're at 37.85. Let's see if it can close above 38. What you got?
Well, I'm going to go over my losses here in a moment. I am short SPY. I talked about it possibly coming back to test this area of 272 for rejects. That gives me a little bit more of a faith in my short. But I want to talk about my losses today. I am down about $500, as you can see right over there. And let's talk about what went wrong as soon as I can. Come on, how do I get this out? I don't even know how to get this lowered. Maybe that's it. That's it. So I went ahead and, yesterday the Google short worked out very well. So I was a little bit biased to that. We went ahead and shorted it, as you can tell, right over here around 134. And then we had a chance to cover it right here at 100. We shorted it one more time here at 134. So we had this trade was in the money. My first stop should have been $100. Like it's a psychological number. You guys know how much I love my, whole numbers there. Yeah. And it's just stupid of me, quite frankly, to not just go ahead and take those profits. But to me, it was like, oh, I'm playing with smaller share size. I don't really care. It's fine. Whatever. My profits was here. My profit taking was at target number 2, except unfortunately I made target number 2 my target number 1. Because again, I was playing with smaller size. I didn't really care, but I want to talk about it because those smaller sizes added up to bigger and bigger losses because I continued to short it. That 101 level was kind of like my risk off area because you can see that's around the area where it had resistance. I was like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and short it here. I'll look to take some profits around VWAP as target 1. Target 2 would be 100, and then previous close would be target 3. Unfortunately, I kept going back to the well and just adding. You can see all these short positions here. Unfortunately, I had to go ahead and cover them for a loss. So Google is the biggest loss for me. I think from the $500 that I've lost, I think 350, if not 400 of it came from mismanaging my trades on the Google side. And I just got so excited because the other day on SPY and Google, I was able to top tick the short. I tried to do it again, got cute, got cut, and lost money on that. Same kind of scenario on SPY here for me. I went ahead and went short SPY on this way as I was testing BWAP, and I covered when it popped above. Cool. That was just fine. Well, then I went ahead and shorted SPY here as it came to that previous resistance of 372. Right over there, you can see that. And I was in the money. My 1-to-1 was met. However, I was looking to get 2-to-1 with, again, having hopium that it would come back and test this 370 area. Unfortunately, it didn't, and it popped right back up and stopped me out. So a couple of things to learn here. Typically, what I like to do is say if I take, whatever shares, whatever contracts it is, let's just say 9 contracts for easy math. I'd like to have 3 target areas, right? So profit 1, profit 2, profit 3. Unfortunately, I just had 1 target area here. And even though I was taking smaller sizes, it added up to a nice little loss of $500. So, like Ryan says, your first stop is your best stop. Maybe sometimes treat that for your targets as well, and learn from those mistakes on that end. But I just wanted to kind of review my mistakes, and that way we can avoid them together next week.
I really appreciate you doing that, Zunaid. Mistakes can be lessons. So if you lose money, turn it into a lesson. That way, at least you got something for your money. I think reviewing your mistakes is going to be the first step in correcting and then reversing those. So props to you for doing that. I'm going to do something similar here real quick. First thing that I want to talk, well, let's cover the losing trade here first. So SOXS. Thesis here on this trade, let me get the 1-minute chart here. Thesis here on this trade was a divergence from the VWAP. And when that got big enough, we were going to try to play a regression back to the VWAP. Now you can see that it tried to do this several times, but it just doesn't have the strength to do that. The longer it trades sideways, the more this VWAP is going to come in towards the price. So that thesis is going to erode. I was just wrong on it. We'll still watch for some of these, especially if the market makes any outsized moves. You might start getting some of these prices moving away from the VWAP, and this could be back on. We tried it here today. It just didn't work. Mitch tried it, didn't work again. So we'll just reassess and wait for the setup to come back. Now, one more thing that I want to talk about, especially considering the technology discussions that we've had here. I know we had Tesla reporting. We got a lot of people trading Tesla here. Excuse me. Here's something to look for. And I know we don't have a show tomorrow, so keep this in mind for tomorrow as well. This comes from a trader from our happy hour show who has much more experience trading the markets than me. So I've kind of been watching this the past several days, and I want to share it with you folks here. When we're taking a look at the Qs, one of the things that we want to do to confirm a trend reversal is going to have a former support or former resistance now act as support or resistance, the opposite. And so if we take a look back to the candle from June 16th here on the Qs, we can see that the bottom of this candle, not the wick, right? Because Mitch tells you every day, wicks are for tricks. Take a look at the bottom. So if we mouse over this candle, we can see that this candle closed at 271.39. So that's the level that I marked off here. What we want to see for this to become a new support level is we want to see 3 consecutive closes above that level. So let's take a look and see what happened. First of all, when we were beneath that level, you can see on this candle, we sold right up to it, or excuse me, we traded right up to it. We couldn't break it and we couldn't close above. The next day we gapped down, but we traded higher, still couldn't break above that. Next one here, we did break above it and we closed just slightly above it, right? 271.48 is a close above 271.39. So we're really cutting it close there, just 9 cents. The next day, we actually closed beneath it. Today, we're above it, and we're above it fairly substantially. So I want to see if we close above it here. And then furthermore, I want to see if we close above it tomorrow. This should help set up what we're going to be looking at and what the sentiment is on Monday, barring any other large macro event that may just throw everything into a tizzy. So keep your eye on this level on the Qs, 271.39 as far as closing prices go. We want to have a close above this level to remain bullish, and we're going to need a couple of those to use this 271.39 as a support. So that's one of the things I'm going to be looking at around the close here today, as well as with the trading action tomorrow.
We appreciate it. By the way, before we go, Ryan is going to go ahead and have a webinar with Humble Trader. We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
So make sure you guys mark your calendars. It's going to be Wednesday,
Mark it up.
October 26th at 2 p.m. We will get you guys a YouTube link hopefully soon so we can have everyone set their reminders. But make sure you guys join us for that. It'll be right here on this Benzinga channel. Ryan will talk about Benzinga Pro. And, of course, Humble Trader will talk about all of her techniques in terms of trading, her favorite indicators, what she looks for in a stock, her strategies, and all that other good stuff as well. So appreciate you, Ryan, for hosting that webinar, and we'll see you guys next week. I'm out. See ya.
No problem, Zunaid. Thanks for doing the legwork and setting that up. I'm just going to close with this. Humble Trader she's an excellent trader. She's been doing this for a long time. She uses Benzinga Pro as one of her primary sources of information for trades. And we're going to be talking about how you can make money trading with Benzinga Pro. You're going to get different perspectives. She's a different type of trader than I am. She's quite good at it. So check it out. Join us. Have some fun. See if you can add another tool to your toolbox. I'm out.
Always. Have a good one, my friend Ryan. All right, getting some of the boys out of here. We're going to start wrapping up in about 3 minutes. We'll get you guys over to Benzinga Live. Benzinga Live doesn't start till around 11:30, but I'm just kind of wrapping up a little bit earlier because I feel like, we've been kind of hanging on here at 11 and there's really not much trading action going on past, let's say, 10:30. So I want to get you guys over to the next stream and keep going. There's going to be a lot to talk about on stock market movers today. There's so many headlines that I got to get through. Want to be ready to kill it on that show for you guys out there. So definitely come over to stock market movers. That's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern, going to 2 p.m. Great guest on today. Going to talk a lot about the infrastructure bill, how this will come into play, the battles that are going on in China right now. We'll talk about the CHIPS Act. There's a lot to talk about. And, of course, all the earnings stocks that I wasn't able to cover on pre-market prep, I'll definitely cover them. And it seems like we're getting a lot of action, a lot of headlines hitting the tape today. So it's one of those days where I just won't even have enough time to probably get through it in stock market movers. But if you're ready to see a jam-packed show, that's where you want to be. That's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. I'm going to be flowing through there. Going to have to drink another coffee. Might get an energy drink because there's a lot going on in this market. Let me go ahead and make sure that you guys have your redirect set over to get you to Benzinga Live. And like always, team, check out the different content that we have. We have a lot to talk about. We can show you guys the New York Stock Exchange video. I don't know if you guys all caught it, but definitely check out that New York Stock Exchange. It was myself in the New York Stock Exchange. You don't want to miss that video. If you guys did not catch that, this would be a great time to go ahead and check that out. I'll give you guys the link to go ahead and check out the New York Stock Exchange video. It was definitely fun to do. I know a lot of you guys have already checked it out, so appreciate you guys checking that video out. And if you haven't yet, well, here's the link there. You guys can go ahead and check it out before Benzinga Live starts. You have enough time to go ahead and watch it. So I want you guys to come over, check that out. And if not, I'll see you guys over at Benzinga Live. I was able to join yesterday. We talked a lot about what's going on in the markets. You had David Green on yesterday. I'm sure AB has some great guests for you today. And don't miss it. It seems like he's going to be talking about, and I'll tell you guys right now, looks like they're going to be talking about will the market kind of bottom here? And it looks like we're having a strong day, so not a bad outlook there. I know that he had some puts on Tesla, so I'm wondering if he was able to close them for the gain. Find out on Benzinga Live. Hit the thumbs up on your way out.